from Newark, New Jersey. Pretty much all over New Jersey. Don't have like one specific area.
What were the two places that you kind of...
Oh, Newark and Willenboro.
What was it like growing up in both of those places?
Newark, it was like night and day. It was like Newark was the city, you know, hustle and bustle. And then Willenboro was just like a laid-back suburb, you know. It's like Newark is loud, Willenboro's quiet.
Are the people there any different? Like people you're friends with, or just people in general?
I mean, no, not really, because people from the city move to the suburbs, you know. So, same people, you know. It's just the environment was different. That was about it. In Newark, I was essentially South Ward, which is where I stayed in South Ward. Like Newark is broken up into wards, you know, the South Ward, Central Ward, East, you know. So the South Ward is the southernmost ward, southernmost section of Newark. It, you know, it's like a district pretty much.
I was born in Newark, New Jersey, but I was raised most of my life in Hopatcong, New Jersey. Well, I split my time between there because my parents were divorced. My dad lived in Newark, and my mom lived in Hopatcong. Hopatcong was, I think, any generic suburban place that you can grow up in. You know, it wasn't bad. I mean, everybody has their rough moments or whatever, but it was, for the most part, it was a pretty standard upbringing. As for Newark, it was something different. You know, the dichotomy of the two just made for an interesting experience.
I'm from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Green Bay and Wisconsin, it's very, I guess it's very calm in comparison to like New Jersey, but it's funny. The things in Green Bay and in Wisconsin, everything and everyone is very, I hate to say nice, because that sounds like I'm implying that people here are rude, but it's, yeah, everyone is just very caring, and just things like when you live out in the Midwest, things are just so much slower. So I lived in downtown, basically downtown, the west side of Green Bay, which is pretty awesome. It's pretty rural, meaning that it's pretty much just a hop, skip, and a jump to my grandparents, to all of my friends. That's the coolest part, is that everybody is so close to each other, and you're constantly like making friends because it's such a dense city, and there's so many people there in the city. Now, obviously, I live a little bit on the outskirts, so it's a little bit like more farm town-ish, which is, it's much different. Now it's like 10 miles between me and like my friends. So now it's a lot more like the stereotypical, like, oh yeah, you guys just, you know, you just milk cows and, you know, eat a bunch of cheese. And now that's basically what I do, so.
There he is, man of the hour.
You know, make it simple as well.
And so what are we going to look for, Matt?
We are going to look for the aurora, supposedly going to be seen from here. So we're going to go to High Mountain West, near the water tower. Try to see if we can see it at that point.
My family life was always, I always took family like really important. I live with my dad in South Jersey, well, in Newark and South Jersey, but we're originally from Newark, you know, from Newark, and moved to South Jersey, moved to Willenboro when I was like starting high school, and So I mean, I would still see my mom, but it would be like, you know, not as much as I didn't spend as much time with my mom as I did with my dad. But his family was always like, you know, a big thing. My mom's side was like really big, a lot of cousins and stuff like that. So it was always, I mean, it's always been, you know. I'm like really family oriented, you know.
My parents split when I was 2, I want to say. So I don't remember the divorce or whatever. As far as I could always remember, they were always split up, but they carried on a very antagonistic love-hate relationship that pretty much dominated my entire life. Even now, it still continues. Just now that I'm older, I'm away from it more than I was when I was a kid. When, you know, you're playing in the mud with each other and you're dragging each other through the mud, you know, you're gonna draw lines in there, and, you know, if you do something one parent doesn't like, you're siding with the other one. If you do something the other parent doesn't like, you're siding with that one. And, you know, it's just a no-win situation. A lot of the things that were a result of what they did and said, I still carry with me, and it probably has a large effect on my personality.
When I was 4, my parents got a divorce and split up. So basically from the time that I was like 4 until I was about 12, I did the whole, like split time, like a week at my dad's, a week at my mom's, and you know, and just kind of bounce back and forth. When I was with my mom, it was very structured. Like I would basically, like, you know, I'd either be at school or at home. Like it was, and then I'd hang out with friends and stuff. But when I was with my dad, it was a lot different because my dad works construction, so he travels a lot. So I hate to say that my dad like wasn't like, it's not that he wasn't like around, but like basically in the morning he would drop me off at my grandparents' house at like 4 o'clock in the morning. They would bring me to school and they pick me up from school, and then my dad would pick me up around like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So like, you know, there would be weeks that would go by where it's like I was always at my mom's because my dad would be out of town for 3 weeks. So that was a little bit tough considering all of my friends have very like the idea of what a typical American household is like, with like, you know, they got like the mother and the father and the brother and the sister, and they all get along and it's one big happy family. And you know, coming from a family that's split up and parents who really don't get along like at all, it was very hard for a long time. But it was good. That's part of what made me, that's why I am who I am right now, so.
Singing even like Black Stuff's gonna be in the city.
Oh, Black Stuff's coming too.
I don't know if she's gonna be there, but Steph said she gotta.
Come on, Eric. Did you see how that shit just happened? Did you see how that fucking stage just come down like that? So what if I do? How funny would it be if you got that fucking spit on tape? I'm buying it. Yeah, I hope you did. Have a good one. I hope you got that on tape.
I went well.
Spot on, spot on.
Well, after community college, I transferred to Rutgers and fucking hated it. And took a year and some change off, just work. And when I was able to, you know, ready to go back to school, I looked for schools with like, specifically with small class sizes and stuff like that, because Rutgers was just too much. It was like living in a city, and you gotta fucking take a bus to get to this class, then I gotta be at this campus in 15 minutes, and you gotta wait on this damn bus with like 100 people waiting for the same bus. And so I looked for a school with small class sizes, and it was between here and Keene, and I picked here. Probably because they gave me more financial aid, you know. But also because they accepted my major. All my credits transferred and stuff, so I got right into my major when I got here, which was dope. So, you know, I always got lucky with a cool roommate, you know. Bathrooms were another thing because you know, 4 dudes sharing a bathroom. It's not as bad. At least we have suites. We got, you know, a bathroom. Only 4 of us share. It's not one bathroom to a whole floor. You know what I mean? I could have commuted, but no, I chose not to. And I wanted to be away. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be submerged in, like, I wanted to go somewhere while I was outside of my comfort zone. Didn't want to just be at home and shit, you know, because I probably wouldn't have got a lot of work done. I wouldn't have got as involved and met as many people as I did living on campus.
By the time that I actually started here at William Patterson, I was starting as a sophomore when most of the people that I graduated with in high school were starting their junior year and, you know, soon to be doing their senior year. So I was already behind. We were always told by certain people that every college student should at least experience a year dorming or being a resident student. And I'd always wanted that. Beyond that, it actually ended up turning to be a practical experience because we were moving away from Hopakong, and my mom and my dad were nowhere near the college. We didn't have a car, so you know, it just became more practical to be a resident student. Probably one of the biggest concerns when you are a resident, you know, you never know who your roommate's going to be. It's not like you can pick them, unless you can. And you don't know who your suite mates are, and, you know, bathroom etiquette, and it could be really bad or it could be really good.
I was the typical, like, I don't know, like the people that, the kids that you see in movies that are like, or that are involved in sports, and like that's just like what they do, like the jock. And I played baseball, basketball, football, and I knew I wanted to do something with sports. I basically told my advisor that, and she's like, okay, cool, well, we're gonna tinker with that a little bit, and we're gonna put you more towards like personal training and athletic training. But that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a coach, and I basically decided that I wanted to get involved somehow with music because I just kind of watched the way that people reacted when they got a chance to meet their favorite artists, or because they got a chance to see them in concert. Like, so the way that people freak out is, like, that's the coolest thing. I remember I walked into an advising meeting and I asked my teacher, I'm like, is there any way that I could, you know, look into transferring for like a semester or 2 and then coming back and graduating in Eau Claire, because I obviously love my school back in Wisconsin. And she's like, oh, well, you should look into National Student Exchange. And I did. And this was my junior year, so I was already looking, because I had switched majors, I already knew I was going to be a year late to graduate. I knew I'd be a 5th-year senior anyway. So I was like, well, why don't, you know, let's just do it. I met a girl who really likes Time Flies, and she goes to school here, and I met her on Twitter, and she's like, you know, my school's, it's really good, the business program is really good, and we're really close to New York City. She's like, if you have an option, I would say to come here. And I was like, okay, cool. So I was like, okay, sign me up.
Good. Everybody, we're gonna do a 3 count, and I'll let you know when the picture's taken. All right, everybody, get ready. All right, Omer, a little more over. You're not feeling. Oh, you're gonna do something. Okay. 3, 2, 1. It's a video. I'm not taking a picture. You guys. Never turn the camera around enough, Pete.
Yeah, you're right, I know.
That's what I'm here for.
Pete.
Well, I met Matt through Thomas, and then the second semester, Thomas wasn't here for like the first week and a half. So and me and Matt just started kicking it more and more, and just that's how me and Matt got so cool. And then, well, I mean, I remember you came to a party that we were having, and like we just linked up, you know, went and smoked. Probably shouldn't say that shit, but went and smoked, you know what I mean? That's something we had in common and shit. And Alex is just Matt's roommate, so I'm joking. Alex was Matt's newest roommate. When Alex get here, like last year?
Yeah, I think like no, I guess it's been a year.
It's been a year. It was last semester, right?
Yeah, so it's almost been a year.
Yeah, so it was last semester. But
I mean, I guess that's how.
Yeah, that's pretty much how we met Alex. Alex, is from Wisconsin, so he's always in Jersey and shit.
What were your first impressions of each of us?
I thought you were high. Or like fucking, I thought you were just always high. Your eyes are just always fucking so like small. But
I get that.
And I don't know, I didn't know I thought you were like Asian or like Hawaiian or something. What else? First impression of Matt, I thought Matt was gay.
I guess I met Eric first. It was during my first semester. I had become friends with his roommate at the time, Thomas. And I remember, first time I ever met him, we went to him and Thomas's room on the 4th floor of matelSON. It wasn't really until the flood that happened at matelSON that, and we got displaced and everything, that we actually got to know each other and, you know, chop the shit. I remember being in my room partying with Ant, Trav, and a few other people. We were drinking beers. Travis walks out, he walks back in, and you're there. And he says, "This is Pete, he's gonna drink with us." And I was like, okay. And at first I didn't really know what to make of you, Pete. You were very quiet. But as you started coming around more and more, and we started getting to talking or whatever, I don't even know how it happened. We just clicked really fast, and that was it, man. You know, and we just ended up having like fun freaking times. To be honest, I think it's the things that sometimes we don't talk about, or the things that affect us in certain ways that we may or may not know of, that have kept us together. You know, one of us could act a certain way, or be, you know, stay quiet in a certain way, and for some reason we'll understand. Not maybe so much really understand, but on a deeper level, like a more subconscious level, it's an understanding, and I guess through that brings a comfort to be able to show that in front of people you care about. It's kind of hard because obviously we're at a part in our roads where they intersect, and we're traveling on the same road, but at a certain point everybody's going to go in their own different directions. And yeah, there'll be times where we meet up maybe once, twice, 4 times in a year. It's not going to be like it once was, and it never will be. We'll only have memories of that. But it really depends on the people, you know. But just because we may not be as close as we once were, or we may not even see each other, or that friendship may not even continue, doesn't mean those people didn't play a significant part in your life. You know? I don't know.
5 months ago, or like 5 months before I came here, I had no idea that you guys even existed. You know, like this time last year, I didn't even know that you guys were people. You know, I had no idea what I was going to be, you know, encountering out here. I just knew I was coming to New Jersey. So the more I got to know you guys, you know, it didn't take very long. It maybe took 2 weeks, because I realized just how often you guys were in each other's rooms. I noticed how often he was in Jeanette's room, and how often you guys would come up and visit just on a random like Wednesday afternoon, you know, like it wasn't anything like special. It didn't call for an occasion, but you guys would just come up and hang out for a few hours. You guys would stay till 1 or 2 in the morning. And like that's friendship. It's one thing to have in high school when you're like friends with everybody in your sports team, or everybody in your clubs, or you know, your different activities. It's really cool. It's really easy to build those bonds and those friendships. But you guys like just all met each other here, and just all of a sudden decided, and you guys just clicked, and you guys spend so much time together. And I just knew, I could tell right away that you guys were super, super close. And another thing is, I mean, you guys just have such contrasting personalities. I got a chance to work with Matt this summer, and I saw him around people that he wasn't necessarily like super, like he didn't know, you know. He was new to the scene, and he didn't know any of these kids from the Midwest that he worked with. And you know, the whole book selling scene, yeah, exactly. And you get a chance to see him. I got a chance to see him in that environment, and then I got a chance to see him in this environment. where he's just like in this group, he like flourishes. You know, you guys might not see each other every single day of every single week, or you might not see each other every single weekend anymore. You know, once you graduate, and once Eric graduates, and once Matt's gone, and Steph's gone, you know, you guys won't see each other. You guys might see each other like once a month, but that bond that you guys have of like, you know, you guys know that 10 years from now, you'll be able to pick up the phone and call Matt and be like, hey, like, let's grab a beer, you know, let's chat. And that's whether you're partying together or you're at each other's weddings, like, you guys won't let it happen. You guys won't let your friendship like go away. I just can't see it happening. It was a lot of fun getting a chance to meet everyone and you know, develop those friendships or those relationships, and I've just been so lucky, you know, so lucky to have things gone how they've gone.
Far out, bro. I swallowed. Far out, bro.
Gentlemen, I just really want to say thank you for not only helping me with this film, but helping me with everything, really. I mean, every film I've made this semester I could not have done without each and every one of you. And I thank you for that. I really do consider you all my brothers, and I really do believe that this friendship isn't going fucking anywhere. Because I'm not gonna let it, man. I didn't create that Facebook group for nothing. So, I don't know, guys, thanks a lot, you know. I honestly can say that I really do love each and every one of you. And, you know, I've been through a lot of shit in my life, and I've seen a lot of shit, and I've done a lot of stupid fucking things. And to be able to find a group of trustworthy, solid, big-hearted individuals is fucking amazing to me. I really didn't think I'd ever meet. I honestly didn't think I'd meet someone. I didn't think I'd meet one person that was that incredible. But to meet a whole group of people that are literally that incredible is so heartwarming and just so amazing. So So thank you guys. Thank you very, very much. And let's just keep the party rolling, you know what I mean? Peace.